Whoever your creator is, my friend, understand that they put a dream and ambitions in your heart, and you must pay the dues to achieve them. That is how you show your creator that you are worthy of shepherding that outcome.
Welcome to the Bedros Keuilian Show.
Fellas, if you plan on doing anything big and meaningful in life, you plan on building an empire, you plan on leaving a legacy, then I can promise you this one thing, that resistance is inevitable. Guys, welcome to the Bedros Keuilian Show. My name is Bedros Keuilian, and today's episode is exactly about that if you plan on leaving a legacy, doing anything big, building a massive business, winning your financial freedom, helping humanity at a large scale, then resistance is inevitable. And this literally comes from a conversation that I had with a dear friend named Jake. Now, Jake texted me the other day, and he's a good friend of mine, and it was a text of frustration. Now, Jake is a very, very good entrepreneur. He makes a lot of money. And he's in the process of creating a 501c3, which is basically a charity, an organization that is going to do a lot of good. And I will talk about it later in the future when that charity is out doing its thing. And hopefully we could all help it and contribute to it, because it is very meaningful work that you would see great value in. But that's not the point here. The point is that Jake was pretty upset. He texted me and he said, man, it is pretty hard to get a business loan from the bank. He goes, in fact, with my companies, I've dealt with the IRS and had an easier time than dealing with the bank and try to get a business loan for this charity that I'm starting that's going to do a lot of good for humanity. And I got to thinking that anything worthwhile that you do in life, no matter how meaningful, how purposeful, how big, how much it's going to help the world, it's going to come with resistance. I hope you know that. If you're starting a business, it's going to come with resistance. If you decide that you're going to get your fat, gelatinous titties in shape, it will come with resistance. Like if you're like, man, I am tired of all the stretch marks around my belly button. I'm tired of men walking up to me and trying to milk me and getting me confused with a heifer. And I am ready to lose my dad bod and get in shape and have abs and get jacked. Guess what? It's going to come with resistance. Why? Because anything meaningful comes with resistance. And the reason that happens is, and it's inevitable, is because I believe that your creator put purpose and put dreams and ambitions into your heart, but your creator also wants to know that you are worthy of the outcome that will be produced. Think about it. Stuffing another ding dong and ho-ho and hot dog down your throat is a lot easier, much more delicious, and faster to get dopamine from than going to the gym and doing a 1-hour workout where you sweat and it burns and it sucks. And you get home and you look in the mirror and you see no results, because that one workout did not produce any results, at least nothing visually that you could see yet. On top of that, you got to get more workouts in and more workouts and more workouts, and you got to stack the workouts. And then if you actually want to see that muscle, you got to start burning the fat off your body, huh? That means homeboy's got to eat right. You got to eat clean. You got to be disciplined on your nutrition. Oh no, ding dongs, Twinkies, and hot dogs can't be jammed down your throat anymore, can they? But then the resistance shows up as temptation. Well, we're going to go on a date. We're on a cruise, we're on a vacation. I had a hard day. Just one ding dong and bagel will be all right. No, it won't. It's a slippery slope. And it makes you incongruent with the man that you said you were going to be. So the resistance is inevitable. You're going to go out with your homies. You're going to go out with your honey, and they're going to want to eat the shit because their goals and ambitions in life are different. They're unlike yours. You've got bigger goals for yourself, and you will experience the resistance that comes with friends and family who want to eat like shit around you and who want to stay cuddled up in bed and not go work out. But you know that the better man is going to go do that. Same with starting a business, or in my friend's case here, who's starting a 501c3, a charity, a cause that he's going to donate such incredible amounts of money to. And then he's going to give that money away to people in need. And he's having a hard time getting a business loan. Now you're probably thinking, why is he losing his own money? Because a smart businessman will always borrow money. OPM, other people's money. Remember that. You borrow other people's money to build your businesses, banks, investors, and then of course they get paid back with interest while you take your money and one, you have it there for safety and security, and two, you invest it in other things that produce a higher return in terms of interest. So if I'm borrowing money at 6, 7, 8%, but I'm using my money to get 10, 11, 12, 13, 15% return, you see how that's a smart move, right? But my homie here is having a hard time getting that bank loan. Documents, phone calls, qualifications, all these things. And he'll figure it out. But he was frustrated because he's like, man, I'm trying to do a lot of good for the world. And there's so much of this resistance and red tape and bureaucracy I've got to go through, Bedros. What do you recommend? I said, well, homie, I don't recommend you quit. God's put that dream in your heart. You're meant to do something bigger than just your giant business that you have. And this is the thing. This will be around long after you're gone. This will help humanity. This will be your legacy. But the resistance is inevitable. That's what you need to know. See, oftentimes you guys read that resistance, a sign from God, like, oh, maybe this is God telling me I shouldn't go down this path. You know, if this didn't work out, maybe I shouldn't go down this path. No, that's not what God's telling you. That is not what your creator's telling you. That is not what the universe is telling you. See, I don't care what your hierarchy of higher power is. I don't care if it's God, baby Jesus, the universe, or the oak tree in that field. Whoever your creator is, my friend, understand that they put a dream and ambitions in your heart, and you must pay the dues to achieve them. That is how you show your creator that you are worthy of shepherding that outcome. Whether the outcome is abs, whether the outcome is an amazing relationship and family, or if the outcome is an obscene amount of money, a business that helps many people and solves lots of problems. Or in my friend's case here, a charity that will do a lot of good for decades after he's gone. But the resistance is inevitable. And this is how God will test you. And if you don't have the resilience and the resourcefulness to get through the resistance, then you will be one of the many whose dreams will get put on a shelf. Your dream will get put on a shelf, never realized, and the only thing you will have on your deathbed is regret. Hey guys, quick interruption to the Bedros Keuilian Show. It is cold and flu season, and I want to make sure that you have a strong immune system and that your body is fighting off inflammation, because right now, lots of people around you have the cold or flu. And you want to make sure that one, you don't get it. And if you do get it, you want to get over it as quickly as possible so you can go back to dominating your day and stacking wins, right? So most of you out there are probably taking a whole bunch of supplements like vitamin C, vitamin D, echinacea, ginger, turmeric, astragalus, B12, zinc. And while all these things are great for building your immune system, one, they cost a lot of money, and two, the quality of the ingredients in here are not great. So I want you to throw all these away, and instead what you're going to do is you're going to get the Truline Everyday Wellness Shot. It tastes delicious. You can feel it working. You're going to boost your immune system, fight off inflammation, have more energy, and keep your body hydrated, because we recently added pink Himalayan sea salt for sodium and potassium and magnesium to keep you hydrated. So here's an offer that you can't refuse. Go to Truline.com, use my name Bedros to get 50% off the Truline Subscribe and Save offer. Plus, you're going to get free shipping and a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. This product is so good, such high quality, strong efficacy, and third-party tested that I want you to try it out at no risk. So use my name Bedros to get 50% off, plus free shipping and 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Now back to the show. That is what happens to people, by the way, when your creator puts a dream in your head or your heart, ambition, a movement, a plan, or an idea, and you stop or you give up at the first sign of resistance. You end up having regret. And I share this with you guys because I can think about all the different forms of resistance I've gotten in my life. And as I get older, it is infinitely harder to maintain muscle, to burn off fat. But I do it. What is the alternative? To be a hypocrite? To show my kids that, well, now that I'm older, Dad's 51 years old, I've got a dad bod now? Fuck no. I'm not going to do that, and you're not going to do that. We love our kids too much. We want to be an example to them, not a cautionary tale. I want my kids to respect me, to look up to me. My son is 20, my daughter just turned 18, and guess what? They're both lean and jacked because I led with example. I work out with them consistently. I get on the mats and I roll with them. I do the things for myself that I expect of them. Now, have I had the resistance? Sure. There's plenty of days where I have hard days at HQ here, and I don't want to go and get that second workout in at the end of the day. And I could easily tell my son or my daughter, hey guys, let's not work out tonight. What is the message I'm sending them? It's okay to compromise. It's okay to negotiate on your goals and dreams. It's okay to treat your kids like, it's okay to break promises to your kids, to treat them like they're an afterthought. So when you guys grow up, you guys can do the same to your kids? Absolutely not. That's not the dad that I'm going to be in. I'm going to be the promise keeper. I'm going to be the one that says something and keeps his promises no matter what. And I can tell you this because this has happened to me and you guys know I'm fully transparent with you. There's plenty of times when I go to the gym to either work out with my kids at night, because I work out by myself in the morning. I work out in the mornings. It is my selfish time. It is when I work out and have the most amount of clarity and energy to push through my workday. But in the evenings, I'll work out with my kids. Sometimes one, sometimes both. And a couple times a week, I get on the mats and I roll. And that's in the evenings too. And some evenings, as I'm driving to BK Strength, my gym, I start negotiating with myself. Like, man, there's been a lot of resistance today. It's a lot of reasons why I shouldn't go to the gym. I could just text my homies and be like, guys, I'm not showing up today. Y'all go ahead. You know the code to the gym. Y'all have a good roll. Have good jujitsus. Take a picture, post it, tag me, whatever. Son, daughter, let's go do something else instead of working out. We can still spend time doing something else together. But what is the message I'm sending? That I'm a quitter, that I'm willing to compromise on my goals and dreams and negotiate the promises that I made to myself. Instead, I do the opposite. I know that when I show up and after the first few sets and reps, or after about 10 minutes on the mats, all of a sudden, all of that resistance goes away because the endorphins and the dopamine kicks in and I feel good about myself. And then when I drive off, leave the gym, head home, as I'm showering, as I'm going to bed, I feel so good about myself because I did the thing that the resistance was trying to force me to not do. I did not negotiate with my inner bitch. The inner critic did not win today. The inner coach did, right? The inner advocate won today. And one day at a time, you stack those wins. Doesn't matter if it's your fitness, your relationship, or your money. Understand that the resistance will come. You will run out of money. You will have red tape. You will deal with litigation. You will deal with challenges. The markets will change. Marketing will change. The sales process will change. Employees will quit. People will sabotage. All of these things show up as resistance. I've had that happen in Fit Body Bootcamp as I grew this thing to an international fitness franchise. I've had it happen with Keuilian Supplements over the last 5 years, right? I started Keuilian Supplements 5 years ago. In the whole scheme of things, it's my newest company. It's a baby company. However, I picked a bad leader. I was upside down $1.2 million. I picked a bad leader coming out the gate with Keuilian Supplements. That was the choice I made. That was the decision I made. I did the best I could at the time, thought I chose a winner. Turns out, he wasn't. Then $1.4 million lost in wasted supplements, in shitty marketing, in a bloated team. All of that was resistance. Do you know how many times I said I should probably hang up my hat where Keuilian is concerned? I should just stick to my coaching business, to my consulting business, to my Fit Body Bootcamp franchise, focus on what I know best. Well, I knew that I was meant to start this company and create the Keuilian Wellness Shot and bring it to the world. But in the process of that, we ended up creating like 11 different supplements, from greens to hydration to vegan protein to grass-fed protein. We had energy. We had energy products. And I realized I was competing in a very commoditized world. And I turned a supplement company into a wellness company. I got rid of the bad leader and I replaced him with a great leader. A leader who believes in the brand, a leader who's disciplined, a leader who runs the business by the numbers and the metrics. Jeff Rosenquist, who a few months from now, I plan on putting on the show as a YouTube exclusive so you guys get to see the rise and growth of Trillium Supplements and exactly all the different levels of resistance we had to deal with. Resistance shows up when you use your formulator and your formulator is out of products. Or your label maker and the container maker, they're like, hey, we don't have enough labels and containers right now for you. That resistance can show up in any way. Resistance shows up with like, man, Meta just stopped your ads because they say you're making a claim that you can't substantiate. So now you got to go into arbitration with them, only to figure out weeks later that your ads were just fine. But all those weeks, you lost so much money because you couldn't run ads. Those all show up as resistance. The resistance is inevitable. And this is what I'm trying to tell you, that if you can't be resourceful and resilient and be able to push through and understand that your creator has a plan for you, and that plan is to be tested before you get the testimony. This is why lottery winners, what do? They put no effort in. In no way did they show how they deserved winning $100 million. They chose some numbers, either numbers that they were fond of or just randomly chose numbers. They won the lottery, and that's why 85% of them, after 2.5 years, go back to being broke again. They go back to exactly where they were. Why is that? How do you make $100 million? Boom, you get it. Yeah, okay, you pay your taxes. So let's say you got 60 million left. And then 85% of the time, within 2.5 years, they're broke again. And that is because they did nothing to earn it. They did not push themselves through resistance. They did not qualify themselves to their creator. And therefore, they were not a good shepherd of the winnings. And therefore, they lost it. And so when you have a plan in your head and your heart, you have a goal, a dream, an idea, understand that the moment you deploy that, the inevitable resistance will begin. Each time you experience resistance and setback and challenges and adversities and frustrations, every single one of those is an opportunity for you to be tested, to prove that you are worthy of the outcome that is inevitably coming. But first, you will have to deal with the inevitable resistance. That is what separates winners from losers. Guys, I hope you got a lot of value from this episode of the Bedros Keuilian Show. Thank you so much for watching and listening and sharing this episode across Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube. Always remember this, that average is the enemy. Success is your responsibility, and change can take place in an instant if you are willing to flip the switch. I'll see you next time.